Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel and another SDS developer stream breakdown video. Today we have the full minor league rosters, some franchise updates, and some road to the show updates, as well as a couple of new legend reveals. We're going to do all of that here in the next little bit. So if you guys find this at all informational or enjoy it at all, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more content like this. We break down all the streams. I stream a little bit myself. I'm gonna start making some more videos again soon, so make sure to stay on the lookout for that. Alright, now I'm not at my normal recording setup today, so I'm recording on my phone. We are going to get some cool slide animations like that. Whoa, high tech and groovy. First thing to talk about is the new minor league rosters. We have about 1,500 minor league players in the game day one, they said. So this includes top prospects like Luis Robert, and we can see some actual White Sox center fielders prospects on this slide. We got, some more there with Nick Madrigal, Daniel Palka is there, Michael Kopech, I think they show. Yeah, this is really good. We no longer have to wait for OBS. Or no, not OBS, Operation Sports to release their minor league rosters for us to start our roster rebuilds or whatever, our franchise modes, if you will. This is it. We got it. Day one. Wander Franco's here. We have everyone. We have about 100 people face scanned in. Players like Jo Adele were face scanned in. We got their animations and stuff. Really cool. Really awesome. They all have their equipment in theory. So, just a really cool thing to have in the game day one. We don't have to wait for it. SDS doesn't have to outsource it anymore. Not sure why this wasn't in the game sooner. But, yeah, that's just a little taste, those slides of the minor league rosters. So there you go. The next thing, franchise. We got some franchise updates for you guys. I was honestly a little bit disappointed in the mode updates other than the rosters. The rosters are going to be incredible. Makes the mode a lot more interesting, I think. We don't have to wait for random people to update the minor league rosters. Yeah, I think this is a really good thing, the rosters, but the rest of the mode I was a little let down at the changes. So obviously the big thing we were promised was rebranding the team, and it is there. It is certainly there. So there at your first off season you can look at exclusive free agents, review staff, and then we have a rebrand team. So you can enter a new team name, generate the new logo, customize the uniforms, and select a home stadium. So I'm going to scroll over to the menu here. Now this is basically a one-for-one thing that you do in Diamond Dynasty. So you have the same team details thing. You have a logo vault, logo editor if you want to create your own and you're artistic. I am not, so I just steal other people's. Steal's a harsh word. I borrow other people's. And then you can select your stadium. There is no create a stadium. I'm just going to say that right now. You can select from the stadiums that already exist, the minor leagues, the classics, and the current MLB stadiums, as well as the spring training stadiums. That is what we have to work with. There's about 60 in the game that you can choose, but there is no new generic MLB stadiums, and there is no create a stadium. So as we scroll over, this is what the first screen looks like. As you can see, you can change your main color, your accent color, your team location, your name, your abbreviation. All of that is changeable. Here's a logo vault. It looks exactly the same as it did in 19. You can pick your logo. If there's one on the vault you like already. Then you can go in, you can change your uniforms. This is a one-for-one direct copy of what you do in DD. You can change your base hat style. You can do this for home and road. I don't think there's alternates though, and that's a little bit of a letdown for me, but that's all right. I'm sure that will come maybe later on. So there you go. Interesting stuff. Now once you create a team, you can save that team, and this is at the very start of your franchise when you're selecting a team. You can change out the team. So here he changed out the Phillies with the Johns. So you press R1 to replace with a custom team. Once you create a team one time, you can save that team and its uniforms, and you can import that into a new franchise. So you can start your franchise brand new with that team that you created. That team just has the rosters of the team that you're taking over. So here it's the Phillies. So the Johns here are going to have the Phillies roster. I believe that is how they explained it working. Pretty interesting change. I like it. I think it's interesting. Not really sure how much difference it's going to make the game feel, other than you're playing with your own uniforms and your own, your own stadium in theory, but should be interesting. Last thing for franchise, they added the new rule changes that MLB did. Like them or not, they're in franchise mode, so you got the 26-man rosters, the 13-pitcher max, 10 and 15-day DL for position and pitchers respectively. Then you have a 3-batter minimum rule, which is also in DD, I believe. Then you got a 2-way player, which I'm not sure is in DD. And all those qualifications you have to meet in real life, you have to meet in franchise for the player to count as a 2-way player. So I believe it's 20 starts in the field, and you get 3 at-bats for those starts. You qualify as a hitter, and I forget what the pitcher requirements are. I think it's 20 innings or something. And that is how you qualify as a 2-way player. Before that, you are just considered a pitcher or a position player. Then you got the waiver trade period removed. And that is all for franchise. We'll move on to Road to the Show and some new stuff. We got some new sponsors. There are all on the top 3 rows. You have all the sponsors that were in the game last year. These are all the equipment guys. So you got the lizard skin, like the bat, not the bat skins, but the bat grips. You got Rawlings for gloves and bats. You got Nike, Mizuno. The bottom 4 are the new ones. So we got Axe bats in the game. We got Victus, SSK, and of course we got Jordan. They even showed off 1 pair of Jordan cleats, which I thought was pretty fun. So those are in the game now. There's going to be a ton of new equipment, they said, and updated equipment. They spit out a number. It was huge and I don't remember it. But there's also going to be equipment released throughout the year. So that is something to look forward to if you are an equipment guy. Very, very interesting stuff. On the Road to the Show, we see here Johnny Cupcakes, a shortstop, is sitting here in a minor league clubhouse. Fairly similar to how the previous game was laid out as far as you being in the clubhouse. Now on the right, the menu is what's a little bit different. I do not believe you could see your rating last year, but if I'm honest, I didn't play a ton of Road to the Show, so I don't know for sure if that's the case. But you can see next to the name you got a 75. So Cupcakes here is a 75. And then for sure, I don't think you were able to see your relationship status with people. So we got friends. He's got 5 friends on the team. You got bros. You're able to see your equipped perks. You're able to see your personality. So all of that is just there on the handy menu to the right. So let's talk a little bit about the relationships. It's different. So here we have relationships. We can see our guy Cupcakes is on the left, or I guess their guy. And then on the right here is Michael Kopech, happens to be who they selected here. He is one of Cupcake's friends. So at the top there, what you're seeing is a +1 to fielding and a +1 to reaction for Cupcakes. This happens when Kopech is on the field with Cupcakes. So they're assuming that because the two are friends, Cupcakes is going to play better. And you got Kopech on the right also gets a boost. So here it says -1 to confidence, but I believe that's -1 to how quickly he loses his confidence. So that's actually huge. Huge to know that he's not losing confidence because you're on the field. You're actually slowing down how quickly he loses his confidence. So that's an important note. You are not hindering your pitcher by being friends with him. Always important to note. Now we see another one. This is a more normal one, I would say, between a shortstop and his first baseman. So here Cupcakes gets a +3 arm accuracy and a +3 fielding. And then the first baseman, Andrew Vaughn, gets a +1 fielding and a +1 reaction. So every time you're friends with a teammate, so let's say Blake Rutherford there, I don't think they showed him specifically, but you get some kind of a boost and he gets some kind of a boost when you're both playing together. I think that's kind of cool. Kind of makes the game a little bit more unique, a little bit more personable for everyone playing. Now this is as you're loading into the Road to the Show game. You can see our guy there, the shortstop, Cupcakes. What you're seeing under Cupcakes' name is all of the boosts he's receiving from the relationships he's got. So he's got +7 arm accuracy, +3 reaction, and +4 fielding. So all of those are added because of the friends that he has on the field. Now, Daniel Palka out there in left field has +1 arm accuracy. This is just off of your guy. Now, Palka is friends with other people. Let's say Palka there is friends with Chesler Cuthbert at third base. You're not going to see his boost because this whole game mode revolves around you as a player. So the assumption is you care most about your player, and so they're just going to show you the effects on your player. So good stuff. Another change, this happens in batting and fielding, but you don't have to wait for the end of the play or the end of the at-bat to see your attribute upgrades. This happens on fielding. I wasn't able to get a screen capture of it, but when you're hitting, you can see here he fouls a pitch off, he gets a +2 vision. This is before the at-bat even ends, so it's good. So now the next pitch, you're going to have that little bit of a boost in vision, for whatever that's worth, but it's interesting. It definitely is different than how it worked in the past, and I think it's a good change. I think now you get instant gratification for when you do something good, or when you do something bad, like strike out. You see there, you got -2 discipline. Obviously, this happened at the end of the at-bat, but when you strike out and I pitch way out of the zone, you get -2 discipline immediately. So that's a pretty good change, I think. Talk about dynamic challenges. They've changed a little bit. You can choose the dynamic challenge that you want. You can get a plus to contact if you select that one. All you have to do is get a single or better. Then double or better, you get a boost to power. So these are pretty standard in the minors as you're developing your player. These are more developmental type stuff, if that makes sense. You're never going to have a boss battle unless some strange occurrence happens in the minors, but where you will see those more is the majors, but you won't have as many like snowball challenges in the majors, I think they said. So interesting stuff. Here's a boss battle example. So here we have a guy on the Cubs. We'll call him Joe Random, is batting for the Cubs, and he's got a boss battle against the Red Sox. So we'll say the pitcher is Chris Sale. I think that's a safe assumption, but you can see here on the boss battle, you can pick 2 options. So you got make solid contact for a hit, you get +2 to contact. Hit a home run, you get +3 to power, and with both of those you get an item reward. Now the item reward is a choice pack for equipment for your Road to the Show character. I believe that's what they said. So if you succeed in this, you get a pack and you get to choose some equipment for your Road to the Show player. Another thing they could do, they said, here's another dynamic challenge, you can get a personality trait boost. So here we got the gain vision for recording a hit while even or ahead in the count, or only swing at pitches inside the strike zone and record a hit. Well, there you also get a personality boost. And those are the big changes for Road to the Show. I know I'm moving quickly. Try not to make this video 30 minutes long. The stream was pretty long, so I'm trying to summarize everything rather quickly. The second to last thing we got is some legend reveals. Brian Roberts is in the game. We got a switch hitting second baseman for the Baltimore Orioles. He will fit in nicely there with like Brooks Robinson and Cal Ripken Jr. and Eddie Murphy, I think, is at first base for your all Orioles infield. Pretty fun. Another 90s and 2000s guy. They said they really focused on that, and through 2 streams, through the 2 legend reveals, I believe them. Really, really good legend there. And then what are words? Not the greatest picture here, but this is John Olerude, former Blue Jays first baseman, wearing the helmet while he's fielding. Interesting note there. Something that John Olerude did throughout his career. So we got those 2 guys. Certainly 2 AL East infielders. Really, really excited to have Brian Roberts especially in the game. Don't know as much about Olerude. He was a little bit before my time. I'm sure Kevin will have something to say about that. Last thing here, we got prospect cards. So we got full minor league rosters in franchise mode, obviously, but we also are going to have glimpses of that in DD as well. So with that, we see Adley Rutschman, the Orioles' top prospect catcher. I think he was the first overall pick in last year's draft. We have a diamond prospect card here. They said they wanted to celebrate these guys early in the game, so they're going to be early game cards. Probably not going to get a 99 out of Rutschman, at least early in the year. I don't know what their plans are later. But it's cool to see these guys being used, because Rutschman's probably not going to be in the majors for a couple of years. But, you know, it'd be cool to have a nice Rutschman card. It would be. That'd be cool. He's going to be early game, so you're going to see him probably a lot here in the early stages of MLB 20. The other guy they mentioned here is Jo Adele, outfielder, phenom for the Angels on the Team USA tournament they were just playing. I forget what it was called, but he was definitely on that team because I was watching it. 5-tool guy, future phenom, just not quite in the majors yet, so we get a prospect card for him as well. He will be an early game diamond as well, I would assume. And that, guys, is about it. One last note on the prospect cards. All 30 teams are going to get one. Some will have diamonds, some will not. They said you can research the pipeline and kind of deduce who it's going to be. It's going to be one of the top prospects for every team. So if you have a favorite team, say it's the Brewers, you can go down and you can find guys that you think are going to be in the game. You can be excited to have a high gold or diamond or whatever it winds up being. It'll either be a gold or a diamond, they said. Card of them in the game. So that is it. Last thing, next week is the roster preview. After that is custom leagues, which will be an interesting one. You don't want to miss that. Then we get March to October, and then the dev tournament and the countdown to launch. So guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more content like this. And of course, I will see you guys in the next one.